Welcome back to the shop. I'm Jeff from Today's Craftsman, and this week we're talking about pencils. Maybe that doesn't sound too exciting, but I was telling John last week, a lot of people are using pencils sort of like this in the shop. And to me, I think life is too short to use these kind of pencils, and I have a bunch of cool pencils here that I use that we're going to show you this week.
Promotional support for this episode is provided by Titan, a leader in spraying technology. For 50 years, Titan has been providing innovative solutions that real contractors need. For more information, visit titantool.com.
So we have some carpenter's pencils here, and if you're doing some woodwork or home improvement, this is probably the first pencil that you're going to use. I know when I started out as a trim carpenter, a lot of the trim carpenters that I was working with were using these. So usually you get them free from SketchUp. Got this at a trade show. Ridge Carbide. Your local lumber yard will have them typically. Home Depot has them. Lowe's has them. And these are a 1/2 inch wide and a 1/4 inch thick. So a lot of people use that to their advantage, and they can use that for scribing and stuff. But these you have to sharpen with a knife. So you'd sit there, get this thing whittled down. I always hated doing this. And you keep going until you have a sharp point. And then it wears out super fast. So I ditched these pretty quick. I was never happy with the way I could get it sharp, and it was sort of inconsistent because you were relying on yourself to sharpen it down to a usable point. So I felt this was sort of inaccurate and a big waste of time. So I ditched these pretty quick and moved on to a regular number 2 pencil. We have one here from our friends at Lewis Lumber, New Doors and Salice. So again, you're going to get these for free from all sorts of different places. And at least with these, you can use a pencil sharpener. So you get in there, sharpen your pencil. But again, you're going to wear this tip down pretty quick, and you have a wide lead, so you're going to have a blunt tip really fast. One of the things that I found is I couldn't mark accurately enough. So these pencils, they got so fat that I had a really fat line, and I had a hard time, making accurate cuts to this big fat pencil line. So then I moved into what I call my gateway pencil. So this is a Pentel Sharp. It's the P209, so it's the 0.9 millimeter version. And this is a mechanical pencil, so you have leads inside, and you press your button, and your leads come out. If you're not really familiar with mechanical pencils, you have different thicknesses. So 0.9 millimeters is the thickness or diameter of this lead. And 0.9 is a very common one, and it's what I stuck with for a long time. It's good for carpentry because you get a pretty thin line. It's about the same width as the lines on your tape measure, maybe just a hair thicker, but you're able to split that line and stay pretty accurate. But being the gearhead that I am, I just wasn't satisfied with this pencil. Doesn't really have any cool factor. Kind of just looks like a yellow school pencil. This is actually a drafting pencil, I should say. So this is like something that a draftsperson would use to draw plans back in the day before we did it all on computers. And I went on from this, and I got into some stuff like these. So these are also from Pentel. This is called a graphite, and this is a 0.9 also. So 0.9 lead. And we have a Graph Gear 1000. So again, another Pentel pencil, drafting pencil. So now we're getting into some new features. So you see here we have this barrel, and the barrel protects the lead from breaking. So it's a thin section that gives you visibility. So when you're writing, you don't have a big fat end blocking your lead, but it has some support. So the issue with that is, let's say you wear a canvas apron, you stick it in your apron, well, this is going to go through and punch a hole in it. So with the Graph Gear 1000, you get a feature, you press the clip here, and the barrel retracts. So you can see when you press, that barrel comes out. And when you press here, it retracts in. So then you can put this into something without punching a hole in it. So some other drafting pencils that I moved into, I do have another graphite here, and I keep white lead in this. So that's good for working on dark woods like walnut. And this is actually used for sewing. So this is from a company called Sew Line. It's a 0.9 millimeter white lead. So really handy for dark woods. Then I started getting a little bit deeper into some of these Japanese brands that aren't available in the US. Well, they are available. They're not commonly available. You're not going to find these at Staples. So I'm probably going to butcher these names. This is Kokoyo or Kokio. So this is a 0.7. This is an Enpitsu Sharp. We have a 1.3 Enpitsu Sharp. So a very thick lead. I could show you here. 1.3, 0.7. Okay, maybe I shouldn't scribble such a wide thing. 0.7. This is the Enpitsu Sharp in a 0.9 and in a 1.3. So, you know, your lines get bigger and bigger. And with these, you also have your retractable little barrel there, so you don't have to worry about poking holes in anything. So these are the Enpitsu Sharp. Then I found this. This is a Uniball Kuratoga, and we're going to try and get this on video for you, but this lead actually auto-rotates, so it always stays sharp. So every time you lift the pencil up, so you're writing. When you lift up, there's a little gear in here between this orange and white, and it actually rotates the lead. I think maybe you could see that logo turning. Rotate it a little bit. So you see that logo there turning. So this is going to keep the tip of your lead sharp. If you write like this, you see the lead. Hopefully you can see this. The lead is very sharp. It turned into a wedge. But when you're writing and you lift, now it has rotated, and you'll have an evenly worn lead there. So these are very cool. The Kuratoga. Let's see. We'll get into these. So once I opened up this rabbit hole, I dove in head first, and I started researching all of these different pencils. So I have a couple here. These are all the Delgard from Zebra. We have a 2.7s and a 0.5. So I've now gone down in size to a thinner lead, so I get a finer line, because these have protection for breaking the lead. So this is a 0.7. And if you watch this silver tip here, you'll just break your lead. No, you'll see that we have a movable barrel or sleeve that keeps that lead from breaking. So you can put a lot of this sideways pressure and not break the lead. And it has in this direction as well. So it offers a lot of protection from breaking the lead, which allows me to use a thinner size of lead without breaking it. So that was always my issue with using a 0.7 in the wood shop with something like this, is that any bit of sideways pressure, you're going to break this lead. And I've even gone down in the office to a 0.5. So this is a Delgard and a 0.5, and we have a nice big grip here. So that's some of the pencils, and next we can show you some of the leads. I missed one pencil, so before we get into the leads, we can talk about this. This is my most recent acquisition. This is the Monograph by Tombow. So sort of just looks like a regular pencil. You have the button is on the clip here. But let's say you're using this and your lead runs low, you can actually shake it out of this one. So pretty cool. You can see how long it is. And this one must be That one's short, but you can see as you shake, it extends. So handy, you know, when you can't change your grip and press. Maybe a little ridiculous, but super cool. And I'm a sucker for a green pencil, as you can see. So now talking about leads. So if you buy like a Pentel Sharp like this, you're probably going to get some of this Pentel Super. So this is HB, and that has to do with the hardness. So HB, I think, is, let me just check here. I just looked this up. Yeah, okay. So HB is on the harder side of all of these leads. So leads are rated on a scale from H, 1, 2, 3, and then B, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 8. So what I like to use is actually like a 2B. So you can see I have all these in 2B. I have a B. So 2B is going to be softer than B, and the softer the lead, the darker the mark you're going to get. So there's a lot of different brands of lead out there. I've had really good luck with the Uniball Nano Dia, the Neox Graphite from Pilot, and the Ein from Pentel. And we'll have links to all these down in the description. It's really sort of a rabbit hole once you get into these pencils. And they're really cheap. That's one of the things I found is, you know, I can go online, find a cool pencil, and spend $5 or $6. And it really, it makes shop time a little bit better because you're not dealing with stopping and sharpening a pencil like this. You're getting nice, accurate lines. And it's just like a quality of life upgrade. You know, you have a cool pencil that works well. It's got cool engineering like this rotating lead, and it just makes, you know, your experience in the shop a little bit better. So like I said to John, you know, life is too short to use a crappy pencil. So hopefully you found these pencils interesting, and if you're looking to find them, we'll have links down below. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next week.
If you're enjoying your Saturday morning coffee with our weekly video upload, you can help support the show by purchasing some merch, hitting that subscribe button, leaving a comment, and of course, telling a friend.